Now we have the second round. The first round has been finished. Who will avail the same order? Chair DS Marcoleta, you may proceed 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, I'd like to make of record that the residents of Ozamis that gave rise to this resolution is not only a single family, Mr. Chair. In fact, I will have to already inform the representative of the Office of the Court Administrator that a case was already filed with the Supreme Court directly, considering that this was made in extreme urgency, and considering further that the courts are in lockdown. Their lawyers made it sure that it will reach the Supreme Court. Kasi masyadong mabagal kung pupunta pa sila Court of Appeals, because they are being faced now of, they are facing what they called in their complaints inhumane demolition of their houses. So this is Lisel Torres et al. Versus Soliver C. Peras, presiding judge of RTC branches 15 and 35, GR number 250-170. I'd like to make a record also, Mr. Chair, that
Mr. Chair, parliamentary inquiry. Is the question addressed to the court administrator in a way influencing the Supreme Court to decide the case?
I think nobody can influence the Supreme Court because it's a separate and distinct branch of the government. It is just a simple question, and I hope the deputy court administrator will not answer if he feels it is exerting undue influence on him.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm putting this on record because of an earlier statement that this representation did not have all the names of the residents who were complaining of the demolition. As a matter of fact, on January 11, 2020, 15 residents and their families already wrote to the committee secretary of the Committee on Ethics and Privileges, asking that their case be heard on issue of dignity, reputation, and conduct of a lawmaker, and I was given a copy of their complaint filed in the Committee of Ethics. So it is not an imaginary. It's not imaginary, Mr. Chair. This is a real case filed by residents in.
But let's stick to 1197 House Resolution.
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Chair.
Yes.
I was about to say, but you have rolled it already, and I move that it should be stricken out of the records. That particular.
We do not take striking out very like left and right. We strike out. I think I've ruled, and that is enough. DS Oaminal.
Thank you.
Question to the Office of the Solicitor General. You said a while ago that the local government can use Republic Act 1052. Did you not say that?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. We said
And under
that.
Section 3, if the local government resorts to Republic Act 10752, they will only expropriate rights of way, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Only rights of way.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but in this case, they expropriated several lots of land belonging to residents. That's not the right of way because they are going to construct two multipurpose buildings in those areas. In that case, Mr. Representative of the OSG, was it right for them not to have resorted it through your office? Kasi dapat kayo.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, our office only represents the national government.
I know. But considering that when they utilized and resorted to Republic Act 10752, they did not only expropriate right of way, but a location for purposes of building 2 housing projects, do you think the measure or the action taken by the LGU is correct?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, when we speak of the Right-of-Way Act, we speak not only of securing private lots, but also of implementing project on those lots secured by the government.
That is a right of way.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is your opinion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And if they resorted to 10752, you already specified the 3 requirements. The amount equivalent to the sum of 100% of the value of land based on current value, zonal value of the BIR. That's number 1. That's correct. The replacement cost of current value of the improvement and structures determined by the implementing agency together with government financial institutions with adequate experience in property appraisal and independent property appraiser accredited by the BSP. And also the current market value of crops and trees within the property determined by government financial institution and independent appraiser. All this must have been immediately deposited in court in favor of the owner. Is it not?
Yes, Your Honor.
If these requirements are not deposited, for example, we have to ask whether or not the city government have deposited 100% of the value of the land based on current zonal value of the BIR. I'd like to ask the BIR, what is the present zonal value in Lam-An today? Is the BIR representative present?
Mr. Chair, as a point of order, on matters which are now pending with the court and discussing on that very issue, would it be...
Mr. Chair, why am I being... I thought we
I'm
had an
just
agreement
asking
already that I
I'm
will
just
not be
asking the ruling of the
interrupted.
That's why
Every time that
I
I
want to
speak,
figure out. That's why I'm also puzzled. I think let's just give him a little leeway. It's just the BIR who will answer.
No, because these are matters taken
Mr.
up by
Chair,
the
he has
court,
already
Mr. Chair.
recorded his
So
continuing
it is-
objection. That was already enough. It was not necessary for him to interrupt this representation every time I raise a question. Otherwise, he will be misinterpreted as somebody who is trying to cover up this whole hearing.
Mr. Chair, I'm just doing what is supposed to be my duty as representative
You
of
are
the people.
not doing
And
what
it is my right,
supposed to be. You have no right to interrupt.
Mr. Chair. No, I'm raising an issue which is now
Yes,
the
I
issue.
will rule on this DS Oaminal under rules section 1. Paragraph 2, the filing or pendency of a case before any court, tribunal, or administrative body shall not stop or abate any inquiry conducted or carried out by this committee.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I know that provisions of the law, but the point that I raise is that he is raising matters which is within the jurisdiction of the court. It's the court who could answer, not the BIR. Because he is asking
Let the resource person answer.
whether the depletion has
Let
been
the
made.
resource person answer that if that is the case.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mr. DS Marcoleta, please.
Wala na lang gagawin, Mr. Chair, kung hindi interrupt ako, paano ako matatapos dito?
Think you're gonna ask the BIR, DS Marcoleta.
Before the BIR, Mr. Chair, may I go direct to the NHA representative anyway? I could take advantage of his presence. Mr. Representative from NHA, are you aware of Republic Act 7279?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you also aware that in finding locations for resettlement or socialized housing, the proponent, in this case, the local government of Ozamis City, should have first coordinated with the NSA, its LURB, NAMRIA, and LMB in identifying lands for socialized housing prescribed under Section 8 of Republic Act 7279?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you also aware that under Section 9 of this law, it provides that socialized housing are prioritized in particular order? and private-owned lands are last in the list of priorities. Section 9, Republic Act 7279.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor.
Under Section 10 of Republic Act 7279, there are several modes of acquiring lands for socialized housing and development. These are community mortgage, land assembly or consolidation, donation to the government, negotiated purchase, land swapping, land banking, joint agreement, and expropriation. There are 8 modalities. Do you confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Under the same provision, it categorically provides that expropriation should be resorted only when the other modes of acquisition have been exhausted. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
And if these modalities have been exhausted, and there is only one way to do it, wala na eh. Wala na mangyari. Expropriation na lang. But the final provision in this case, in this particular section, sabi niya, where expropriation is to be resorted to, parcels of land covered by small property owners shall be exempted for purposes of this law. Is it correct?
Your Honor, I cannot confirm that.
It's in Section 10.
I'm
Basahin
not-
mo yung Section 10. Sabi niya, provided finally, if expropriation is resorted to, parcels of land by small property owners shall be exempted for purposes of this act. This is Section 10. I'm only reading it. Do you confirm this?
I will have to check, Your Honor.
Okay, check mo nga.
For a while,
Binabasa
Your
ko.
Honor.
And it's dapat alam mo ito. Wala man ito.
Your Honor, regarding section that provision of RA 7279, yes, actually, those are all provisions of the
Yes.
law.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
OSG, please. In Section 19 of the Local Government Code, that's the right of eminent domain. But in the same provision, sir, it says that it also cites the Constitution and other pertinent laws on socialized housing and payment of just compensation. And such pertinent laws, which are also controlling in this case, are Republic Act 7279 on socialized housing and Republic Act 10752 on expropriation. Do you agree?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, Section 19 refers to expropriation by the local government
Yes,
under
and
the
it
local
also
government
cites the
code.
Constitution
Yes, Your Honor.
and other pertinent laws. Kung
Yes, Your Honor.
pag-uusapan is just compensation and also socialized housing. And these controlling pertinent laws are Republic Act 7279 and RA 10752, right?
Your Honor, if the local government pursued expropriation not under 10752, then it will not apply.
No, sinasabi ko lang, pakinggan mo lang. Kasi sa Section 19, sinabi niya, kung i-exercise mo yung right of the eminent domain, you will also refer
10
to the
minutes,
Constitution and other pertinent laws. So there are pertinent laws also that can be cited, like if you talk about socialized housing, this is the controlling special law 7279. Pag expropriation naman, the controlling special law is Republic Act 10752. That's the only question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The 10752 is controlling on expropriation if that is the law applied by the government agency, like the local government unit. If the local government unit did not apply Republic Act 10752, then other laws will apply on expropriation, like Section 19, Rule 67.
You mean to say in socialized housing, the local government can ignore Republic Act 7279?
No, I did not say that, Your Honor. What I
Okay.
said, on expropriation,
Hindi, doon muna tayo sa socialized housing. In socialized housing, the controlling law is Republic Act 7279.
yes, Your Honor.
That is the question I asked from the NSA, and he confirmed that those provisions really exist in that law. Ngayon, ito namang sa expropriation na sinasabi natin, because they resorted to 10752, kaya sinasabi natin, they should have deposited all those amounts. That is why earlier I was trying to ask the BIR whether or not they deposited those requisites for them to be able to acquire the trait of possession. Okay, Mr. Representative from OCA, earlier you were asked by the distinguished Honorable Beloso on the writ of possession, the uncertainties, etc., etc. Does the writ of possession in itself also include the right to demolish without court orders?
Your Honor, with respect to this particular case,
Yes,
Your Honor,
yes.
there is mention about actually ejecting the occupants, but no writ of demolition was issued, Your Honor.
There were no writ of demolitions.
None, Your Honor.
So the writ of possession is not enough. They should at least apply for writ of demolitions or even evictions for them to enter the property, considering that there are residences.
Well, in this particular case, Your Honor, there was none that was applied.
Yes.
And I think what ensued was negotiations perhaps involving the parties, because there was certain rulings already by the court thereafter the issuance of the writ of possession, Your Honor.
Earlier, I made a manifestation that there are at least 15 families who went to the Supreme Court questioning the writ of possession. And they were saying that there were no writs of demolition, and I was able to verify that personally from the undersecretary working at the time when I asked him to see to it from the ground what is happening there. And he confirmed to me there are really no writs of demolition. So that is why I was asking now, can they demolish the houses and residences absent the issuance of writ of demolitions?
Well, the demolitions, insofar as this case is concerned, is based on the voluntary.
This is not voluntary. They went to the Supreme Court asking the Supreme Court to help them. That's not voluntary. There are 15 families. In fact, they went to the Committee on Ethics filing this. So that's not voluntary. You saw the video clips earlier. They're not voluntary. They were crying for justice.
May I just put on record that there are sheriff's return regarding this particular
Demolitions, no sheriffs.
submission of, furnishing of the or service of the writs of possession to the concerned parties, Your
The
Honor.
only question I want you to determine,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you said it already, susiguruhon ko lang,
Yes,
yung
po.
writ of possession is not enough to demolish if there was no court demolition orders issued, right?
What I'm saying, Your Honor, is that when the writ of possession was issued, there was no writ of demolition
Yes.
that went with it, Your Honor.
There were no writs of demolition. Yan sinasabi ko sa iyo eh. Kaya tinatanong ko, was the writ of demolition, was the writ of possession enough kung walang writ of demolition?
Well, the writ of possession simply states, Your Honor, that the government, the LGU,
Yes.
is given possession of
Yes.
the property subject of the expropriation,
Yes,
Your
that
Honor.
is the only. But
In
if you will
compliance
demolish the houses absent the court orders of demolition, it cannot be done, right?
Your Honor, if let me just say, based on the
Do
obtaining,
not mince words here, Mr.
I am
Representative
not, Your
from the
Honor,
OC.
because I'm just basing.
Ang sinasabi ko, kung walang court order of demolition, can you do it?
Well, to demolish, Your Honor.
Yes, to demolish the residences. 15 families came to the Supreme Court.
Your Honor, no specific writ of demolition does not necessarily follow that demolition should take place, Your Honor.
Okay, so they cannot do it without court orders, right?
But in the order, specific order involving this particular case, there was mention about ejectment, Your Honor. But
Wala ngang ejectment, expropriation nga lang ito eh. There were no
To-
ejectment cases.
I'm just basing on the order, Your Honor. The
Yes.
wording of the order is to also eject, Your Honor.
Walang order na ganon. The writ of possession was granted to the city government. That's all.
Yes, Your Honor. But I'm basing it on the record, Your Honor. The order of Judge Pera states that and to eject, Your Honor. I'm just basing it. I'm just quoting the
Okay.
decision.
How can
the
you
order.
eject? How
Like
can you demolish the houses? Nilagay mo niya doon? That
wala,
included
Your
the writ
Honor.
of demolition? Wala, di ba?
No writ of demolition,
Kaya
as I
nga, so
mentioned,
if
Your
there
Honor.
is no writ of demolition, can they demolish? That's only the question.
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
No, okay. Thank you. I have here a document showing that Judge Peras was receiving allowances from the city government. Do you allow the members of the judiciary to moonlight?
Of course not, Your Honor.
Okay. Somebody said that this is the usual practice. This is the normal practice. Is this the normal practice for the judges of the judiciary?
Moonlighting, Your Honor, is different from receiving allowances from the local government unit, Your Honor. Of course, with respect to
Okay.
receiving allowances, Your
Do you
Honor.
do you allow them to receive allowances?
Your Honor, this is actually allowed under the local government code, Your Honor, particularly section 447, Your Honor.
The local government code?
Yes, Your Honor.
They say that they can give allowance to the judges.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you please?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me
Educate
just
us.
cite the. Let me just read it for you, Your Honor, if I may be allowed. Insofar as section 447 of the local government code is concerned, it provides here that, and I quote, Your Honor, just for the record, powers, duties, functions, and compensation. Section 447A. The Sangguniang Bayan, as the legislative body of the municipality, shall enact ordinances, approve resolutions, and appropriate funds for the general welfare of the municipality and its inhabitants pursuant to Section 16 of this code, and in the proper exercise of the corporate powers of the municipality is provided for under Section 22 of this code, and shall, going now to number 1, subsection 11. When the finances of the municipal government allow, provide for additional allowances and other benefits to judges, prosecutors, public elementary and high schools teachers, and other national government officials stationed in or assigned to the municipality.
So you normally allow the judges to receive allowances from local government.
Your Honor, we respect the decision of the LGUs to grant allowances to our judges, Your Honor.
You had been a judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you receiving from the local government when you were a judge?
There are appropriations by the local
No, I'm asking
city
you,
council.
were you receiving when you were a judge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so how is it now that the judges are required to exercise the called neutrality of an impartial judge when, for example, judges are allowed to receive allowances?
Your Honor, if I may say, Your Honor, that receiving the allowances is different insofar as the discharge of our adjudicative duties are concerned, Your Honor. To be honest about it,
Tama naman yun. Ang
it does
sinasabi ko
not in
lang,
any way come into play insofar as our decisions are concerned, Your Honor.
well, that's good. Sana ganun nga. I'm trying to elicit this because
Yes, Your Honor.
of the circumstances, revolving around this case.
Yes, Your Honor. We do respect that, Your Honor.